I just got back from my trip to Slovenia, which was just absolutely amazing. We were there for about 10 days, and this video is a compilation of those days and all of our hikes in the Julian Alps, the mountains and lakes, and just a little bit more about the country. Slovenia is a beautiful little gem tucked away, surrounded by Italy, Austria, Hungary, and Croatia. We chose to go with a company called Max Adventures, which is a self-guided travel. And what that means is you go on your own. They give you the maps of the trails. They reserve the place where you sleep, and you can forward your bags. I met up with my friend Dawn at the Ljubljana airport, and we got in a cab and went on a very wild ride to the little village of Jezerska, which is tucked in the Slovenian Alps. It's so much like Switzerland and Austria, and it was just absolutely gorgeous. We stayed here for 2 days and started our hiking. There's a cheese vending machine.
At the bus stop.
That's so cool. Love it. All right, here's our trail. We are going up here to there and then back around to here. All right, we are in a fairy forest. What do you think, Dawn?
It's beautiful.
On this part of the trail, it was not for the faint of heart. We had to climb up ladders, and then we used these steel cables to steady ourselves. Okay, so we just reached the hut. Here's the menu. There's barley stew, sauerkraut, or they have a bowl of sauerkraut, buckwheat mush. What do you want?
Ooh, buckwheat mush. I would actually have that.
You're on a mountain of roots. Look at that. Starting our second day of the hike, and this is this beautiful Russian Orthodox church overlooking the mountain. We followed maps on our phone, otherwise it'd be very easy to get lost. This is very steep. To give you an idea, this is what I'm climbing. This is steep. Straight up, we're almost there. Oh my gosh, there's the top. I did it. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. All right, so I just made it up to the summit of, I think we went up 2,500 feet today, and this is, over here is Slovenia, and over here is Austria. How cool is that? We're right in the middle. The line is right here behind me. If I have a foot in each country, It's beautiful. It was so hard, but look at how beautiful that is. All of these Alps surrounding on both sides. It is just exquisite. Yay. The top, and here is back down. It's sheer. Look at this beautiful fig. I can't wait to chew it. We just are coming out from the end of our hike, and look at this beautiful vision and the firewood for winter. Here's the little village of Jezerko. Beautiful. Here's what you do at the end of the hike. Laundry time. We're exploring the back roads of Begunja. It's like everybody has a garden here and fruit trees. It's just so cool. Look at these saunas. Beautiful. It's like every few feet you see something that shows faith in this culture. We're walking up to the old castle, and look at this view. Wow. So this is a memorial for prisoners, 161 prisoners that were shot on this site by the Nazis. This is just right outside the castle. Head. Look at this, guys. We're going into a 12th century old castle and having a picnic. We're just entering. There's that. And we're gonna go explore all up in there. And there's nobody here. Ooh, those are stinging nettles there. Just still exploring. We walked out of Begunja and walked up the hill to Kamen Castle. This was built in the 12th century and is just amazing. It stands there abandoned and just decaying and falling apart. There are no security, no signs that say stay out, no entrance fees. It was empty when we got there. We were the only ones. This was Dawn's birthday, so we packed a picnic and we explored around and then ended up having a little lunch there. It was just beautiful. You could see parts of different styles. There was Romanesque, Gothic, and Renaissance. Apparently back in the day, this was the place where it was the guardian of the trade route of people coming through. But it just stands empty right now, and it's just so fun to go explore castles. One of my favorite things. You could see right where my finger is pointing there, all those holes. That's where the beams and planks would go for each floor. Begunja has an interesting history because the German forces invaded it in 1941, and they killed 1,200 Slovenians and held them prisoners and executed them there. So there's a lot of memorials and very solemn reminders of the past that they had with the Nazis. Where are we at? What's the name of it? Radovljica. We just arrived in Radovljica, and we're trying to make our way to the trailhead. This is awesome. Just reached the highest peak of this hike today, looking over this beautiful valley. We are going to hike right down there to Lake Bled. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye. This is concrete with little snow catchers. On this hike, we hiked down into Lake Bled, but we aren't going to stay. We're going to hike out and then come back in a few days later. We're hiking on our way up to Vintgar Gorge. As we were hiking out, just below the castle, there's a church called St. Martin's Parish Church. This was built in the 15th century. It's a Gothic-style church, and it's just beautiful. We just looked in there for a second and then headed out from the village on our way to Vintgar Gorge. There is the castle, the church. We hiked all through here. There's more of the Julian Alps, and we hiked up here. And we're just starting our hike to the gorge. We made it to Vintgar Gorge, which they say is one of the most beautiful gorges in the world. And this was definitely another highlight for us. This was created about 10,000 years ago. It's about a mile long and has walls that you can look up and see 330 feet high. The reason why that the water is so beautifully blue and glowy is because it has suspended minerals, kind of like in Alaska where you see some of the lakes that glow. That's because of the glacier silt. This is, they call it rock flour. And there's actually fish that are in there. But it was a highlight for us and just so, so beautiful. We were definitely in Dairyland. This was a really sweet local man that gave us a ride to the next village so that we could get established for our next day's hike. Good morning. of these mountain trails go right through people's yards. Just a little sign on the path. We can go get some milk and cheese right over here. Just in the middle of the mountain, you can buy some farm cheese. Hi, girls. Look how tall these ferns are. How cute is that? Wood, flowers, clothes hanging. Wood everywhere. This is, I just found out, called a wayside shrine. You can say a prayer anywhere along the corners here. Hello, guys. Rose hips. Look at how pretty. Oh no, those are apples, wood, river. Everything is so beautiful here. We made our way back to the old town square of Radovljica. I think I'm saying that wrong, but we wanted to come here because Dawn is a master beekeeper and this place has a bee museum. But when we got there, it was raining and it's a Monday and the bee museum was closed. So we just really explored the place and we'll come back to this later in the video. Okay, we are in this little village, this little square called Radovljica. It started in the 13th century and we're just walking through history. Look at this. It's actually for art and trade. This is the bee museum. It's closed today. But all of the details here are so beautiful. Everything, just wonderful. We just came out of the rain to this cute little place. This building is 1835 and has these sculptures carved in. That is music, acting, painting, and sculpting. And this whole thing here is arts and trade, starting in the 13th century. Very cool. We made our way back down to Lake Bled so that we could get a Pletna boat ride over to the island to see the church. And these boats are based on Italian gondolas, and this tradition of rowing dates clear back to the 17th century. Apparently the Queen of Hungary, Maria Theresa, granted 22 families exclusive rights to ferry people to Bled Island to see the church. Today there are only 23 Pletna boats around Lake Bled, and each one operated by descendants of the original Pletnar families. So it's a real honor for these men to be rowing these boats. The style of rowing originated right here on this lake. There's the 99 stairs up to the church. And then there is the castle. And there's Lake Bled. Here's the 99 steps going up. For centuries, the Pletna boats have been bringing brides and grooms to this little island to get married in the church. And apparently, the legend goes that if the groom can carry his bride all the way up the 99 steps without stopping, they go into the church and they ring the wishing bell. They'll have a long and happy marriage. Oh my gosh. Oh, here's the wishing bell. Okay, I made a wish.
That's incredible.
Okay, we're reaching the top of the pendulum clock tower.
Oh,
Okay, we're at the top of the clock tower. There's the castle through there. That water is just gorgeous. Here's the pendulum clock, and we're in the bell tower. Oh, this is so cool. So this was built in the 15th century. This has to be set every day, and it goes off every 15 minutes. Look at this. And what you're hearing is the bell when somebody just made a wish.
there it is.
Now we're going to do a little hike all the way around the little island of Bled. We hiked up from the lake to see Bled Castle. So imagine Slovenia is just the size of New Jersey, and in this country there are 500 castles, and Bled Castle is the oldest in the whole country. It's one of the best preserved and maintained. It was written about clear back in 1011, and in 1500 there was an earthquake, and so they rebuilt it to what it is now. One of my very favorite things to do when I go to other countries is go to castles, walk through and explore, and just imagine what it must have been like back then. At this place, they had a museum inside that you could see artifacts and some of the things that they found on the grounds. One of the things that I think makes this castle so beautiful and unique is its views. You're up 500 feet from the lake, and you get 360 degrees of the Alps, and then when you look down, you see the island, the church, that beautiful glowing lake, and then the little town of Bled. It's just breathtaking, very storybook. This chapel was one of my very favorite places in the castle. It's a preserved Gothic chapel built in the 16th century. And the artwork that is in it is a technique called fresco illusionist. And what they do is they paint on plaster, and it dries. It's a very difficult process. It dries fast, and so it seals it in. And what they do in this technique is they layer it to make it look three-dimensional, to make it look like there are shadows and things are raised up. It's really an amazing artwork. We're having lunch at a castle.
Overlooking the lake.
Cured meat, cheese, bread, a view of church. We took the Straza toboggan ride down the mountain of Bled. It goes about 25 miles an hour and drops 500 feet. How epic is this? Photographer taking the bride and groom outside the church and the castle. This is the farmhouse we are staying in, and the little barn, and the cows out in the pasture. So this is where we're staying, in this farmhouse built in 1768, and they renovated it. This is the fireplace that she said also the smoke goes up into the other area where they smoke their meats. And then this is the beautiful breakfast. These are the meats that they smoke here. All of these meats and their own cheeses. They make their own cheeses. They made their own cottage cheese and yogurts. Look, they fill the yogurts. Their eggs from the chickens, and then here's some homemade jams, and then and a cappuccino machine, but it's just beautiful. There's Vlad feeding his cows.
Lily, bite some, bite, Lily. Bite, Lily, bite.
Oh my gosh! Picking grapes.
Thank you. This is lovely. Oh my gosh, they're so fresh.
Just exploring in this little village. This is Radovljica, I think it's called. This is the bee museum. We are in the bee
This is
museum.
packed brood here. And it has a kind of a suede look. And see, here's a little baby bee. Now, if you watch this little bee, he's going to emerge, and you can see a little baby bee being born. See him chewing out right there? Maybe I can find you another one, too.
Yes, it's honey. Pure honey.
Yeah. So you're doing the waggle dance. See that little vibration there? They're telling them there's nectar nearby. They do a little shimmy, just like a little shiver shimmy. There.
Slovenia is the bee capital of the world, and in this museum it had a beautiful collection of these painted panels that go on the front of the apiaries of the bees. Some of these are centuries old and tell the story of folklore.
A beehive that was a tree, and they took the tree down, and they kept the beehive in here. So there's an entrance here, and down here.
Wow.
There's an entire tree.
So we're walking in the moat. Up there is the city that we were just shopping in. And there's, it looks like homes down here, actually. Just in the middle of the moat. Yeah. This is amazing. Let's see what it looks like down here.
the.
Yeah, they got a lot of drones going out here, huh?
Yeah.
And so you got this out of a tree?
This is still the part of the tree.
Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, very nice.
We cut it off from the tree
Yeah.
like this, so the tree is still alive, and we make this box, and now the bees are here.
This is the beekeepers up from the farm that we're staying at. Look at all of these bees. This is how they do it in Slovenia. Stacks and stacks of them. My trip to Slovenia is over, and I can now see why they call this one of the most beautiful hidden gems in the world. Between the people and the culture and the views of the Julian Alps, the weather, everything about it was just pristine and pure, and I hope to come back again someday and see the southern part. It was just spectacular.